Hello everybody, Mr. Pilgrim here, coming at you with the 6th video in our Platinum Trophy Guide for Ratchet & Clank PS4 Remake. In the last video, like always, we'd gone through a couple of planets, earned some things, done some trophies, and worked on getting some cards if we could, as well as getting as many gold bolts as we can without having to backtrack as much as we could. So now we're on our first trip to the deplanetizer. This is a pretty straightforward map. Gonna be pretty small actually, but as always, this is more or less just going to be a let's play as the others, so we'll just jump right into it. Alright, so after the spaceship section and a small clank section with a couple of puzzles, yes, I am going to be skipping those simply for the sake of saving on time, as there's no major importance of witnessing or playing those. You will get a trophy though for defeating Victor, so do keep that in mind. But as we go through, you'll see that pretty much it's a short level. Like, it's not going to take long at all to go through. But there is one trophy that we can get while we are here. So, of course, we will be getting that. But as we're going through, you'll realize that you don't have clank, so maneuverability is not our strongest option.
If you wanted to come aboard the deplanetizer, there were much simpler ways of doing it.
But as you'll see, it is going to be kind of a straightforward walk to where we're trying to go. As you can see, we're basically just going through all of these enemies fairly easily. Now, while we are here, there's actually one thing we can grab, and that is going to be over here. Any more? There we go. Alright, so if you come over here, you can actually find this hidden little mag wall that you can walk up. And here you'll find a secret little holo card pack. But from here we can now head back and continue on the main path. Of course, we're also going to be picking up all of the money and stuff like that, because who doesn't like money? But as you're going through, you'll eventually see, like I said, a pretty straightforward area, nothing too crazy. Now here you'll have one of the few little hidden rooms that you can go through. Like I said, whenever you can level up any weapons, try and do that. Because it'll save you time and trouble in the long run. Alright, so in this room you have to eventually wait and come back on your second trip. As you'll see, the gold bolt is up ahead.
Maybe there's a trespasser terminal around here.
But here you'll have your next trespasser tool that you can use. Like I said, I'm going to be auto hacking it, that way I just skip through it. And this will show you how to complete them. You can pause, of course, whenever you want.
Ratchet, have you located Captain Cork?
Not yet. Okay.
But from here we can now move on, head to the next little area.
Coordinates locked. Target, Novalis.
All units, converge and eliminate at all costs.
But like I've said, pretty much as you're going through, nothing too crazy about your first trip through the deplanetizer. Mainly just going to be defeating enemies and things like that. As you can see though, most of the enemies go down fairly easily to our weapons.
Deplanetizer power levels at 50%.
You can just chill here on the proton drum while it takes care of most of the enemies for us.
See? Nothing to it.
But from here we can now head down the main path. You'll end up in this unique little room here.
Oh, this is too good. Not only do I get a choice to the planet for new fortune, but I get to destroy Galactic Ranger's home. Talk about a win-win.
As you can see, using certain weapons definitely makes playing through certain parts of the game a little bit easier. And then other times it doesn't really help all that much. As you can see though, there's a holo pack set just right here for us to grab.
At 75%.
Now we can be on our way. As you'll see, there are certain parts of the
How are you doing in there?
game that is just locked off to us. Don't know why that took so long to spawn in. But once you make it to this specific room right here,
Made it to my eyes.
you'll have some raritanium you can get, some ammo you can restock on. You'll have this trespasser, and as you can see, you'll see the gold bolt, which you actually can get. Once again, I'm going to auto hack, that way you can see how to complete it. But the next thing that you're also going to want to do while you're here is destroy all of these planets. Doing so will get you a trophy. As you'll see, these only take a couple of swings from your axe, or wrench, I should say. But once you do that, you should get a trophy. Now from here you should see this little button on the wall that you can shoot down. This will allow you to get one of the 2 gold bolts on the deplanetizer, as you'll see right here. Boom. And like I said, the other one you will have to get on your second trip back on the deplanetizer. So from here we can drop down, get some ammo, all that good stuff, get some more money, because like I've been saying, who doesn't like money?
Our security lasers will keep you from going any further.
You have this little security laser to deal with.
Hey, security lasers! You said that when you found work. Final paycheck!
More warbots!
I want this lot back. And bring me the defense. I'll have it on something useful, like a saber, or one of those white noise machines you fall asleep with.
That's weird. But like I said, pretty simple. Kind of boring, I know. But now we can continue on to the main path.
Deplanetizer power levels at 95%.
This might be a tough one, or I lied, I'm just bad. Of course, we can now get a new weapon. Can give her a good old college try. We'll have this kind of war room that we'll go through. Some enemies will be spawning in, as you'll see, like so. While all that is going on, we can use this time to get some more ammo for things.
Fully powered and ready to fire. Awaiting orders from Drag.
Ratchet, you have to shut it down!
Let me see here and start from the terminal.
But then as you're progressing, you'll want to make sure that you're doing this room in a very specific order, otherwise you will soft lock the room, which is not good. Basically what will happen is enemies will stop spawning and you can't progress if you are doing things in a certain way. It's like the best way I can describe it. But we can come over here and grab some more ammo for things that we need. From here though, if you actually
Access the Starcracker room and shut down the deplanetizer.
come up here and then turn around, you can access this little hidden holo pack right here. Like I said, trying to collect as many holo packs as you can will easily save you on time, money, and resources as you're going throughout all of these levels. And that also means that you'll get the holo pack cards faster as well. Because eventually you will just be getting duplicates, which will have a cutscene, and you'll be back on Velden. Alright, but after a couple of cutscenes, you'll eventually be able to go to Kalebo 3. This is a very unique planet. There is a trophy called the Lazy Lombax, which you can't get just yet. You'll have to wait till you basically have figured out the stage in order to get it. So that's what we're going to do right now. It'll make more sense in the long run once you know what it is. But for now, it's better just to explain it once you have access to all parts of the trophy. Alright, but from here we can now head on to the main area. And we will actually be going down the left path for the first thing, as that will be a optional objective, which you will need, as it is one of the things I talked about for the brains on Gaspar. So from here, you're basically just going to want to take this grind rail, and you're going to do some very specific things, as there is a gold bolt that you'll need to get on the grind rail, so do keep that in mind.
A sandwich that was really made and left in the employee's room.
But as you're going through, you'll have a small little thing that'll let you know what to do. Basically, you'll have your 4 switches, one right here. For some reason, didn't want to work. But we'll give it a try again. It's a little finicky at times. Luckily, I don't have to do this without taking damage. But that is the first switch. The second one can be found here. As you'll see, like so. Switch number 2. Here's switch number 3. Some raritanium, because why not? Then you'll get back on the main path, like so.
Ratchet, come in. How's it going down there? Did you get the holodeck?
You'll have to dodge all of these trains and stuff.
Just had to take care of a few things first.
Not too hard, of course. I don't know where they're going though, because this is basically a dead end, if you would. But from here you then have this last little jump you'll make over here, and you'll have the last switch, which will lead you to this optional area. And this optional area will have a gold bolt. As you'll see right here. Boom, just like that. Then we can hop back onto the normal path. From here, we're almost done though. As you'll see, boom, we'll come over here
Welcome to the Map-O-Matic room.
and we'll grab the Map-O-Matic. Like I said, this is what will allow you to see collectibles and things like that, as you'll see on the map.
Items and points of interest.
Sweet. I can really use that.
Now, of course, I will go in detail about that later on. Here you'll have the ability to go to a unique room that really isn't that important, so we're just going to ignore it for now. But from here we can now head back to the main area. But from here we can now head back to this area here, and we can now head to the right.
Good work, Ratchet. The thruster pack is quite a handy device.
So from here we're just going to be going through and trying to do what all we can. Like I said, using weapons and things like that will definitely come in handy. As you can see, using the proton drum definitely makes some quick work of the first batch of enemies that you have to deal with. As always, if you can level up weapons, then level them up. But as you're going through, you'll eventually come to this spot here. As you can see, we're not even having to worry all that much about anything, as most of the enemies go down fairly easily with our weapons and how upgraded they are. Of course, we'll have the second room that we'll need to use our proton drum on. These enemies definitely take quite a beating, so do keep that in mind. So it makes it real easy for leveling. Then from here we can head on outside. There we have our proton drum fully leveled up. But now we can head on to the next area. So we can now go through and proceed to the next area. Now, after this little turn, you will be able to get another gold bolt. As you'll see just off to my right. But from here, basically all you're gonna do is just jump down here. You'll ride the elevator up once it appears, of course. or you know, you could just die. Either one works. But from here, I'd highly recommend having the 40,000 bolts needed for the Sheepinator. As it is a required weapon for another trophy that we can get as soon as we are able to buy it, which I'm going to do now by purposely dying. So if we go here, we can then buy the Sheepinator for 40,000. It'll make sense once we get to it, so don't worry. But basically how it works is it's an infinite ammo weapon that can turn enemies into sheep based on how long you have the beam hitting them, as you'll see, like so. But anyways, we can now focus on the gold bolt. So if you just come here, turn around, boom, you can grab the gold bolt. Very in plain sight kind of thing, but we're close to being done with getting all of the gold bolts. Then from here we can take a grind rail to the next area. But now we'll be on the next testing lab, and this one is actually a fake, as you won't actually need to fight any enemies here. As you'll see, it's just a bunch of sheep.
Easy to bleat these guys.
Alright, so now I'm going to talk about this area specifically. Alright, so this area is probably one of the better areas in terms of trying to level up certain weapons, of course. I'll go over the enemies that you fight in this area. You will have one ship, a bunch of large enemies, and some warbots as well. In this area is also two specific large helicopter pilots that you can try and use for a trophy. Basically, once you come over to this second area here, you should see both of them show up, as they have already. Gonna try and take out any side enemies that are in the way. So once you come over here, you can then try and focus on just turning them into a sheep. And when doing so, this will also level up your Sheepinator. But that will be how you level up weapons fairly easily. As you'll see, we're back here. Weapons are already back and looking good. But once you turn one of those dudes into an actual sheep, you will then get a trophy for that as well. But so I'm now going to skip to once I'm done leveling up any remaining weapons I want to work on. So I'll see you once that is said and done. Alright, so once you were done with that, you will then be able to proceed through this area. There will be a bunch of those small robots, so do keep that in mind. Well, once you were done, you will be at the actual mayor's or Big Cheese's office of Kalebo. There'll be a cutscene. He'll want you to drain the water, as you'll see right here. Quite a impressive feat, if I do say so myself.
Good news!
and then you will now be able to enter the race. Now, just like the one on Rilgar, you will get a trophy for beating the gold cups on both Rilgar and Kalebo 3. That will be one trophy, and then you will also have a trophy for beating the Kalebo 3 gold cup in a certain amount of time. Like always, I'm going to show the bronze so you can be familiar with the map and also to show off the gold bolt, and then I will also show you the gold cup and show you the time to beat. So yeah. Alright, so as you'll see, we'll have the first race on Kalebo 3, the Bronze Cup. Pretty easy race so far. You will have two shortcuts you can take, one which will grant you the gold bolt, of course. The first one is right here. It'll just let you come through and break all of these boxes, because who doesn't like doing that? You'll then come to right here, and you'll need to make this jump up to here and go through these rings like so. And then you'll need to come into here, and boom, that will be the gold bolt right there. So now we only have 4 gold bolts left to get in the game. Pretty easy, as you'll see. As well as that, the time that you'll have to beat in the gold cup will be 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Doesn't seem that bad. As you can see though, with how things are going for us, we're easily probably going to beat that time with no issues, as we're already on lap 3. But from here we'll take the double again, take this shortcut to get more boxes. That will get us more boost, you know, more bang for our buck, if you would say. Up here we can just continue, hop down. Whew, that was close. But from here we can then go through and beat the time in less than 2 minutes, 5 seconds. But like I said, you'll need to be on the gold race. So I'm now going to swap to that, as that is what we do. So yeah. Alright, so now we have the gold cup right here, as you'll see. Not much different from the silver cup, except a couple of things, of course. If done right though, you should easily get this without any issues. They do add a couple of unique twists onto it. Which is perfectly okay with me. We'll grab the shortcut to maintain our lead, as you'll see. We'll actually avoid the shortcut this time. That way you can grab some more boxes in the long run. As you'll see, like so. Come up here. Drop down here. As you'll see though, we're doing easy time on this. This dude would get off me. That'd be nice. We will take the shortcut just to make our life a little bit easier. We'll take the normal path. That way we can get as many of these boxes as we can. And as you'll see, we finish with plenty of time to spare to beat 2 minutes and 5 seconds on the gold cup. Like I said, once you beat the gold cup, you'll get a trophy for beating both the Rilgar and Kalebo. And then as well as that, you'll also get the trophy for beating Kalebo in 2 minutes 5 seconds. Now you'll also get a Rhino card for winning the Gold Cup, the Proto Suit, as you'll see right there. So now we should only have 2 more Rhino cards to go through. Pretty easy. But from here, we can then focus on grabbing this little holopack card that's secretive. And then as well, we can also work on getting the Lazy Lombax trophy. So from here, if we actually backtrack all the way over here, take care of these remaining enemies who are somehow still around. Nevertheless though, so the trophy is related to these little walk-through areas. Basically there are 4 in total, 1 of them right here and the other 3 are towards the start of the level. But what you have to do is you have to ride across all 4 of them without moving from the start to the finish. Now the times of when it counts is a bit off, so from that one we can now head to the other 3. But as you'll see from right here, we will then make it back to the other 3, buy the last weapon in the game that we can buy. So from here, you're then going to want to just ride this one as well. And then from here, I'm just going to skip making you watch me ride it. You'll then have this one right up here. Once again, you'll just let it take you all the way across. And then the last one that you have to do will be right here. Pretty simple, really. So now from here, it's more or less just going to be cleanup and things like that. So now you can go back to the deplanetizer, but before you do that, we're actually going to go all the way back to Gaspar and get all of the remaining brains. Now I'm going to show you why we waited until now to do that. Alright, so as you can see here on Gaspar, there is the all of the brains left and located on the map. As you'll see, it's quite easy now to keep track of them and to show off all of the specifics to it, as well as showing you where the gold bolts are. As you can see, there's 2 really close to me, but then there's one that's actually hidden out in the level. So I'm going to show you that one first. So from here, we're just going to take, actually we're going to take the teleporter to save ourselves some time. Now from here, there's a very specific path that you will take, and that will lead you all the way to a very specific area. So for me, I'm just going to be ignoring all of this stuff. But as you'll see, there will be this hidden area here, about right here where I am. Now in this area is where you'll find the gold bolt. So if you come over to this side over here, you'll see it right in front of me. Pretty easy to find. But while you're here and getting all of the remaining gold bolts, we're then also going to make our way back to the start of the map, just to save ourselves some time. Alright, so from wherever the game decided to put us, as you'll see right in front of me, there is a opening. So what you're going to want to do is you're actually going to want to come all the way over to this area right here. As you'll see, there's a bunch of enemies and stuff like that inside that you're going to want to take out and defeat. And in doing so, you can then access this crank. This, of course, is a side objective, and that will show you how to get those specific brains for that area as well. So, I'm going to show you now. As you can see, all the brains are just located along the wall and stuff like that. You'll then have this last area. Then you should be able to exit like so, as you can see. But now we're actually going to focus on the gold bolts, so yeah. Alright, so one of the last two gold bolts that you can get will be right here on the left side, kind of towards the start. You'll have these three switches that you'll need to find and interact with, as you'll see. Like so. And that will get you the gold bolt. Pretty easy. Now we can move on to the next one. Alright, so the second to last gold bolt in the game that you can get will be here at this magna wall. There is a couple of traps and things like that, so do keep it in mind. Can take some gnarly damage from this. You'll then have this wrench that you can activate.
Ratchet and Clank dodged hazards and made their way into the secret Blarg lair, because exploring is fun.
So as you're going down, you'll eventually see that there's all these traps and things like that. Just trying to take it nice and smooth since we have such little health. But once you make it to the bottom, you can then easily just mow down pretty much most of the enemies. As you can see, for the most part, they go down pretty easily. But once you make it to the end is where you will have your one last little thing of button presses to be able to be on our way to the gold bolt. Now you'll have this one last elevator ride. And from here you can then come right here and grab the second to last gold bolt of the game. Now, before I end the video, there is one last thing that I completely spaced and forgot to do, and that is on Kerwan. So if we head back there, I will then show you what I completely goofed up. So yeah. Alright, so here on Kerwan, basically if you turn around, take this to go back to Alira City, we can actually access a holopack card set. One of the Rhino cards that I forgot to point out, and I do apologize for that. I should have done this in a much earlier video. But from here, if you just take the path that I take, you'll run right into the Trespasser that you'll need to use right here. Like I said before, I'm going to automatically, or I guess I'm not going to do that. Anyways, like always, I'm now going to show you when I complete the puzzle. So yeah. Alright, as you can see, I completed the puzzle, and here you can get your second to last Rhino pack, or Rhino card, I should say.
That's a whole fat. Set complete.
The Zodiac. As you can see, I'm just completing a bunch of cards. But as you'll see right here, we only need one more card, and that is going to be on your second to last, or your second trip to the deplanetizer, which is the last planet that we actually have to do now. But I'm going to save that for a, not final video, I'm not entirely sure just yet, but maybe. But as always, this has been Mr. Pilgrim. I do hope these videos are informative and helpful in some way, shape, or form. And as always, I will see you all in the next one.